This is the story of a girl who cried a river.
My topic today is homophobia and how do we deal with it. Homophobia to me is I'm going to give you an analogy here. Homophobia is like a disease. A disease, it spreads, usually just from one person, but then it spreads from person to person to person, and eventually it becomes this huge epidemic. So, how do you stop a disease that's contagious? How do you stop homophobia? Homophobia is contagious. One person believes it, the next person starts believing it, and the next person. How do you stop that? Unfortunately, you can't really prevent a disease from spreading. So, just like a disease, you can't really prevent homophobia from spreading because people are people. And so, people believe what they want to believe. But, there's a but to everything in life. There's an exception to everything in life. There's a contradiction to everything in life. And the contradiction of homophobia is, and I hate to go back to Bambi. I hate going back to Bambi, but Bambi serves a really good purpose here. Turn the other cheek. Don't listen to it. Don't let it faze you. And the most difficult time it phases people is when it hits home. So like when your parents or your friends or your relatives or people you just have always known your whole life, like family, friends or something, or employers or anything, are homophobic. How do you stop that? How do you prevent yourself from hearing it? You can't. But how can you prevent yourself from letting it faze you? My best advice with that is turning the other cheek. And I know that sounds like something you've heard in Bambi and all the Disney movies you saw as a kid, but it's true. If you turn the other cheek, don't let it get to you, eventually it won't. It does get to you, especially when it's people that you do know that are close to you, because you're like, wow, why don't you support my lifestyle? Why aren't you okay with what I do and who I am? A lot of the time they're not okay with it because they don't understand. They just don't understand. They don't understand why you are the way you are. That's kind of like me. Sometimes I don't understand. Actually, growing up, a lot of the time, for some reason, I could never really understand why girls like boys. I always wondered, why don't girls like girls? Girls are beautiful. Girls are smart, intelligent, witty. I mean, they're independent, but they weren't always independent. They always wanted their independence. But I always asked myself that. I said, why don't girls like girls? So that's the same thing straight people are feeling. They're asking themselves, well, how could two girls like two girls, and how could two guys do like two guys? Is it biology? Is it chemistry? Is it psychological? And the answer is, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what it is actually. But regardless of what it is, we like what we like, no matter what. We know what we feel. We know it's true. And for a lot of people who don't understand, their ignorance is bliss. They don't understand why we like what we like and why we feel what we feel. Most people, you'll find, they don't actually really care. A lot of my friends don't care that I like girls. A lot of my family members don't care I like girls. Usually, the homophobic people I've found in my experience are usually they're usually homosexuals. I've noticed that. Usually, either the homophobic people I come across are homosexual themselves, and they're just extremely in the closet. Because why else would you go to such great lengths to hate something, unless you're passionate about it in some way? Unless you have some attachment to that subject, there's no other way why you would insult it so much and give all your time to it. And the other reason is because just religious activists, like religious people who, like deep Baptist or something, like nothing against them at all. I mean, I have friends that are Baptists, but I've just noticed like a lot of certain religious communities, they frown upon it and they don't understand. So they will try to stop it in any way they can. And you realize, you look at those people and you kind of go, wow, wow. You know, so why do you take those people seriously? Don't. It hurts because there are people out there who still hate. It's kind of like there are still people out there who are racist, but do we take those people seriously? No, we go, dude, really? How could you do that? You know, we just kind of go, wow. We don't take it seriously anymore. So eventually, in time, it'll be the same for homos. Like, why can't I say the word today? It'll be the same for homophobic people. Homophobia, it'll be the same thing. There will still be a percentage of people who are homophobic, but it will decrease over time because people are realizing more and more that this isn't a choice, in a way. That's another video, another day. But people are realizing that there's something we can't help, you know, so why should we be punished for just loving who we love, you know? Gay people don't want to be bothered. They don't want to have some kind of crazy activist, crazy, I don't know. They just don't want to do that. They just want to be left alone. I can't talk today, but they just usually want to be left alone. They just want to live their lives and be happy. So my best advice is to turn the other cheek, to understand that it's not easy, but it will go away. And, you know, it gets better and it will get easier, a lot easier. And I'm really, really grateful that I have chosen to come out in a time period that's a lot more accepting of this. And, you know, it will just keep getting easier for everyone. So hang in there, everybody. Hang in there. Realize you're strong and that these people are just ignorant and they don't understand you. You just have to look at this from every perspective. You have to understand where this person's coming from, their background, maybe the way they were raised, their religion, anything, because that has a lot to do with it. People who take time to be rude to you, are they really worth your time? People who insult you and ridicule you for who you are not worth your time. So don't let those people bring negative energy into your life. Just focus on the people who are okay with it, who don't care, you know? And things will get much easier for you because of that, and you'll be blessed. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you all have a great night, and comments are appreciated. Alright, thanks guys.